Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video. Today I'm going to be going over the Drifta drawer setup in the back of my Colorado Zr2. I've been receiving a lot of questions about this setup, especially after I switched from my deck drawers that I had installed previously. I'll cover why I made the switch to the Drifta system and discuss in detail the features of this setup. Also in this video, I'll briefly be discussing my dual battery setup, as I think some of you guys might find that informative as well. I'm hoping that this video gives you guys a better look at why the Drifta system is so good and why so many people in the touring and overland markets consider this to be one of the best setups out there. Some of you might already be aware of Drifta. These guys have retail outfitter stores throughout Australia and have been around for roughly 20 years. They've been featured on popular Australian YouTube channels such as Ronnie, Dahl, and the infamous Australian 4-wheel drive action. I'll leave a link down below to their YouTube channels. Drifta is very well known for their custom drawer systems, but also make a lot of other really cool stuff. Over the years, these guys have been involved in making adventure trailers, recovery gear, custom-made Australian canvas bags, and lots of other general camping gear like chairs, tables, etc. Their main factory is based in Gloucester, Australia, and roughly employ about 100 people. So here we have a still shot of the Drifta Dual Cab No. 2 setup. It's a wood-based design wrapped in marine carpet. I mounted the system using nutserts installed in my truck bed. Drifta does also supply turnbuckles if you choose to attach the drawer system to your tie-down points inside your truck bed. I did want to mention that pretty much any drawer system you order from Drifta can be customized to fit any vehicle. They will have you take a few simple measurements and then design a system based off of those measurements. They have different configurations available depending on what vehicle you're outfitting. It can be a bit overwhelming to decide what you want, but they can help you through the process without much worry. Their customer service is always on point. If you're from Australia, you can choose to simply drop off your vehicle at Drifta HQ and have them do the build out for you. They also do 12-volt installs as well. For my setup, I wanted to keep it simple. I wanted one large drawer, a pull-out table, a recessed fridge slide, and a place to store my auxiliary battery. The dual cab No. 2 option checked off all those boxes. Again, you can option out what you want based on your needs. If you want to add another drawer, a drop-down fridge slide, etc., you can build it how you want it. So let's go over the fridge slide first. On my previous deck drawers, I had the fridge sitting on top and used an alucab drop-down fridge slide to access the inside of the fridge. This setup worked okay for me because I'm a bit taller, but for anyone shorter, it was always somewhat of a challenge to get inside of the fridge. So with this setup, the fridge is at a level where getting into the fridge is just a bit easier for most people, including my girlfriend. This fridge also has what's called the DSS system, which is the Drifta slide system. Drifta can customize the DSS to fit any size fridge. This is a great feature as it keeps the fridge space as small as possible, so then the drawer and the table are as big as possible. If you have your own slide already, Drifta can build their drawer system around that slide fridge combo to better suit your setup. I also optioned for the flush tie-down points as well. When the fridge is not installed on the DSS, these tie-down points automatically flip down flush to create a much cleaner look. There are two latches that need to be engaged and a locking mechanism before the fridge can slide in and out. I also optioned for a partial fridge barrier to keep my gear from sliding onto my fridge while loaded up. They do offer a full box partition that surrounds the entire fridge as well, but with my MaxTrax setups being mounted on the inside of the ceiling of the canopy, the fridge box would have interfered with the MaxTrax mounting system. The really cool thing about this barrier is that it's easily removable with just a few bolts. So when I'm not using the fridge, I can remove the barrier and put in an optional flat inserts that creates a fully flat surface for daily use. Even with that flat surface, I can still use the inside of the fridge slide for pull-out storage. I had to get a bit creative on figuring out a clean way of running the fridge cable back to my Blue Sea fuse panel without interfering with the fridge slide. I ended up just drilling a few holes and running some small cable clamps underneath the fridge slide. This setup works great, and I've never had any issues with the fridge slide catching on the wire. I did have a CNC style wire chain on my last setup, but unfortunately that system would not work on the Drifta fridge slide setup. So moving on to the left, we're going to go over the main storage drawer. This drawer is the entire length of the truck bed. There's tons of storage inside with optional dividers, and it's also marine carpeted. I chose not to mount the dividers just based on, how I run my setup, but you can mount the dividers how you see fit. They come loose from Drifta, so they come with these little L brackets. You can just mount them up. The latches are also lockable, and they're stainless steel. What's really cool about the latches is they're mounted flush, which provides the maximum length of the drawer to be used in your truck bed. You've also probably noticed that there are no steel runners on the drawer as well. In my opinion, this is where the Drifta product stands out from its competitors. They use Teflon runners on the bottom of the drawers from sliding the drawer in and out. These make the overall system not only lighter, but they also maximize the amount of space available in the drawer. So another cool feature of the Drifta system is their integrated slide-out table. You can use the table as a bench-style setup or fully remove the table and have a complete freestanding flat surface to work on. The legs come already attached to the table. You just pop those out and adjust the height based on the terrain you are on. Each leg is fully adjustable as to accommodate any uneven ground you're set up on and to stop the table from rocking back and forth. The table also has a laminated surface on top, similar to like your kitchen countertop at home. This makes cleanup really easy and helps the table's durability as well. When I get to camp, first thing I do is set up my table. It's so nice just to have access to the table from the front of the system without having to go through all my gear to get to it. I use this table as a quick flat surface as well without needing to pull out the whole table out. If I need to make lunch and pull things from the fridge, I can just slightly pull out the table and place the things on the table as needed. So because the fridge slide does not go the entire length of the truck bed like the drawer does, this gives you an additional storage space that's behind the fridge. This lid just lifts off and you can maximize all the additional storage space here. You can obviously use the space for anything you want, but many people use the extra space for an auxiliary battery setup. This is optimal for an auxiliary battery setup as it gives you the option to run a much larger battery when compared to the one you have underneath your hood in your engine bay. I currently have, I believe it's a 105 amp hour Odyssey Group 31 AGM battery installed inside of a National Luna portable power pack. I also have a Blue Sea fuse panel installed in the storage area as well. This Blue Sea fuse panel provides power to a few different 12-volt items in the canopy setup. This includes like lights, fridge power, and I also have a Blue Sea outlet deck with like a USB and a 12-volt plug and a voltage meter. So one of the last features I'll be covering in the Drifta system are these things called side wings. These side wings are on the left and right of the drawer and fridge slide, and they offer usable storage space along the entire length of the system. Drifta sends you these side wings as blanks, so you'll need to just cut these to fit the sides of your truck bed. I'm not the greatest woodworker, but found cutting these side wings to fit my truck bed was pretty easy and straightforward. I wasn't perfect by any means, but I was able to successfully get the job done. So with my previous deck drawers set up, the sides were completely wasted space. Deck drawers only offers 2 small cubbies, or what they call ammo boxes, on mid-sized trucks that you can store some gear in, whereas the Drifta setup gives you the entire length on the sides available for extra storage. This is another important feature of the Drifta setup that really made me happy. I typically store items that I don't need to get to as much on the sides. Items such as recovery gear, tent pegs, jumper cables, water hose, stuff like that. Having the space available for extra storage and Drifta's focus to not waste any storage space is really the main reason I went with these guys. I was so frustrated with the amount of wasted space I had on my deck drawers. Not to mention the weight comparison between the two systems is night and day. So that kind of covers the features of the system that's installed in my truck. Now, as far as product availability goes, if you live in Australia, New Zealand, you can purchase these items directly through Drifta Australia. Now, if you live in North America, you're going to have to go through a company called Kakadu Camping. Kakadu Camping is the company I use to purchase my Drifta drawer system. Kakadu Camping handles all the North American sales for all Drifta kitchens and drawer systems, and they're located up in British Columbia, Canada. I'll link those guys down below. These systems really range in price based on what setup you'd like to go with, so contact Drifta or Kakadu for pricing info. At the end of this video, you've noticed I've also included a few different photos of different setups that are available through Drifta. Reach out to those guys because they're really good about working with the setup that you want and that fits your vehicle based on modifications that you like and that will work with your vehicle build. They're really open to be able to get you what you want, really. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Please post down below any questions or comments you have. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps my channel. But most importantly, it really pushes me to do more of these types of videos. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks.